Dune is an achievement. A lore-heavy and thematically rich science fiction film telling half a story always had the odds against it. But it defied expectations, being the 11th highest grossing film in 2021's pandemic-era box office and winning numerous awards. The film moves unhurried, taking time to create its world while focusing on its characters, and is both epic and intimate in scope as the plans of galactic empires and millennia-old cults converge on one man. Every cast member gives a great performance. Isaac feels wise, Ferguson enigmatic, Brolin experienced, Momoa adventurous, Zendaya elusive, Bardem unfamiliar, and Skarsgård is vile, while Timothée Chalamet anchors the film with a believable performance as a reluctant Paul. Technically speaking, the visual effects are the most seamless I've ever seen. Everything looked real throughout, without a single weak spot standing out. This, combined with diligent set design and costuming, creates a world that feels distinctly not our own, but still very tangible. Baron Harkonnen is a great example of this, with a design that isn't exaggeratedly grotesque, but still gross. It's impressive Villeneuve and team had the restraint to wait an hour before the first action sequence, and the first look at the series' most iconic image, the giant sandworm, is teased with intrigue-building small reveals, some of its mouth here, a quick glimpse of the body there. It truly feels like an ancient beast that through its giant shape and God's eye-like mouth feels both phallic and yonic.
Almost sexual, isn't it, Smithers?
Or maybe that's just me. The movie is not without its faults. I do think the final 45 minutes could have been trimmed, as there's no need for Paul and Jessica to be wandering the desert for so long. If they were hopeless, it'd make sense, but they have a plan and an objective, so let's move it on. And my God, is it frustrating when a movie does this.
This is only the beginning.
No, it is not. This is the end of the movie. Why would you even say that? Also, this is hilarious. Minor issues aside, the only true thing I didn't like about Dune was that it didn't feel hot. Does that make sense? For instance, when the Atreides step onto Arrakis for the first time, you're telling me this doesn't look cold. Instead of a blistering desert, it has the washed out look of winter sun. To be fair, when Paul talks to the gardener about the palm trees, there are heat lines in the background, so perhaps they were going for a bright, white hot heat, so bright you can't see. But it doesn't feel enough. If Paul
should be out here this hour of the day.
In black formal wear, without a still suit, he should be sweaty or his hair greasy, his face flushed or something. It sounds weird, but Dune should be sweatier. Yes, the still suits save all the water, but they can easily collect that as it runs off the face. If you compare the desert in Dune to that of Mad Max or Lawrence of Arabia, the characters are sweaty. Timothée Chalamet has long hair in the desert. He should be matted with grease. They all should be. It's a decision that makes the movie just feel a little too polished. Adding to this, the lighting of interiors between Caladan and Arrakis are the same. Yes, the sets are both ornate and beautiful in different ways, but they're on different planets and are lit like they could be a part of the same building. Furthermore, Arrakeen has no personality to speak of. It's a beige husk of a city with no attempt made to its culture. Strangely, Denis Villeneuve has more experience than most directors using intense desert environments in Sicario and Blade Runner 2049. But the desert in Sicario is more overcast with a dusty quality, although there was a lot of filming in real locations, so that affects the light, brightness and intensity in external ways. And the famous Vegas wasteland of Blade Runner 2049 is certainly visually arresting, but Gosling walks around in his heavy winter coat, so it feels more like a contaminated area, blanketed in a poisonous haze of chemicals, rather than something temperature related. You know a movie's good when your biggest complaint is, it's not how I thought it'd look. Really, I think the movie did a great job of translating everything apart from the desert intensity. This muted colour palette is encapsulated in the film's marketing. Why is the desert movie a blue-green? Perhaps I'm biased. My copy of Dune looks like this, and so I always associate these colours with it. I've not read the book since I was a teenager. Maybe the colours are true to the book. Potentially, in seeing more Iraqi culture in part 2, we'll get more vibrancy, heat, colour and intensity from the desert and its people. Dune is an achievement, but hopefully there'll be a little more Hodorowski in Dune's future.
This is only the beginning.